if you're an Aries born March 21st to April 19th, what can you expect for the month of August 2018? Let's tune in and find out. So you're being asked to take your time this month with decisions, not put pressure on yourself to be at a certain place at a certain time, or to get yourself in a certain shape. You're just being asked to be more present and to be in the flow, and to not put so much pressure on yourself. Putting the pressure on yourself actually shuts the energy down or closes it down, making it more difficult to achieve your goals. So by being in the flow and letting go, it kind of lifts you up. It brings a little more air in and just elevates you. And there's less restriction and less structure and more in the flow, which is what's called for right now. Because Mars is retrograde until August 27th, and then you have a few days of shadow, which means it's still more difficult to get anything moving. And Mars is our business, and it's the up and atom sort of energy. Let's get going, let's race, let's get ahead. And when you're trying to fight against that, it's draining, it's exhausting, it's like nothing's happening, and you feel like you're burying yourself and nobody cares. So don't resist it, right? Just go with the flow. And then we also have Mercury retrograde until August 18th, and again we have those shadow days as it changes on the 19th and the 20th. So, and that's when it becomes a little more intense at the beginning and at the end of the retrograde. So you want to be a little extra careful with your communication, double and triple check, being cautious with your flight information, leaving yourself plenty of time for your commute, all those sorts of things, not buying high-priced electronics or expensive things, but a great time to sell stuff, right, during those retrogrades, but not to buy anything. Mainly because it blocks our view of things, right? And once we move forward, we're able to see kind of the whole picture and communications restored. And that's why it's a great time to get rid of things, because if you have something that's flawed, they're not going to notice it, They're not going to notice the details. But afterwards, later, they'll see it. So what we want to focus on right now is relationships, romantic relationship for Aries for the month of August, and see what's in store for you. So for some of you, I see there's a renewed commitment, a promise that is, being challenged. Well, I don't know if it's being challenged, but it's being worked out. So it could be that, oh, well, I thought we promised, to live in this house forever, or I thought you promised to stay with me forever, or I thought that we would spend our summers here and our winters there because that's the way we've always done it. So there may be some renegotiation around promises, or it could be that you're newly promised, meaning you've just gotten married, or you've just fallen in love and you've just made a commitment to somebody else. So, and it just reminds me of the pinky swear, where you hold each other's pinky. So there's this beautiful connection at work that's at harmony, and being able to make sure that you both get what you need. So the way to do that is just listen and follow along, and not be married to your own ideas, right? And to be able to allow for the opportunity to change and really listen to what your partner has to say. And if you can do that, you'll be able to get through this month beautifully, because there's a lot of the eclipses that have just happened. There's 2 in July, and there's one happening August 11th, which is a new moon partial solar eclipse in Leo. They can really, sometimes those eclipses can agitate too. They can be really beautiful and they forward things for us, but sometimes they can be abrupt and they can call up our emotions and we can get a little bit tense. So just be aware that there's a lot of energy, and the way to be with it is just to kind of be low and quiet, right? Less is more. Think about it, doing our best not to overreact, and just realizing that everybody's a little more emotional, and just kind of let it be and not take it in. Okay, let's look at those Aries who are interested in a romantic relationship and don't have one. So Aries, you guys are really the glue in a lot of relationships. You're really the one who kind of keeps it together and can be the ringleader and bands everybody together, You've just got this, way about you that's attractive and charismatic, and that's going to really attract a plethora of different types of people. And you may find that you see all different or meet all different types of people these next couple of weeks. And I do feel what spins out of that is choice. And so at the end of the month, you may have more than one interesting person that you're interested in dating. And again, if they all come in during the retrograde, it can just be of the moment experiences, which to me aren't really long lasting, because with the retrogrades, they usually, unless it's somebody that comes in from your past. So a retrograde can pull people in from your past for renewal, recommitment, reconnection, in which case those can actually be lifelong partnerships and now move into a future together, something healthy and fun, as opposed to somebody who's just brand new and, and then what happens is then you don't get all the information about them. And then when the retrograde leaves, all the way sudden you hear more things about them. Oh, you're moving to China in 3 months? Or like, oh, you're joining the armed services? I didn't know that. Or, oh, you're married, right? Like things like that can happen during retrogrades. So suddenly they don't become so attractive, those individuals. So I feel like there's an opportunity for you at the end of the month to be able to attract somebody to you that's long-term if you want it. And that's what I really feel like, Aries. I'm not sure if you want it. If you want it, it's there. I just don't know if you do. If you do, you just have to make the decision that you want it and it'll happen. Which is a pretty typical Aries thing, right? You guys usually get what you want. All right, let's move into the money career conversation for Aries for this month. So I feel like what would benefit you this month is to chunk things down, not to try and, rebuild something or really take it all on, but to take small pieces of it and chunk it down and educate yourself or take it apart or redo it. So let's say if it was a manuscript chapter by chapter, right? Instead of like trying to do the whole editing of the book in a week and then the marketing of it in another week and so on like that. Instead, take your time with it. So whatever the project is or whatever your work is being called for, you're being asked to chunk it down, not rush it, be present to it. So what if you're somebody who's just, let's say you're a hostess at a restaurant, right? So your job then would just to be present to people, right? Not think about what's going to happen next week or tomorrow, or you're just being asked to be present, because there's a lot of confusion and a lot of energy that's happening in the universe, and it's not all settled. So the universe is going to move you. So when we try and co-create against this energy or try to, overpower it, what usually happens is we usually end up wasting a lot of energy, wasting a lot of time, and then the sky parts and then you just drop into the right thing. It's like, oh, I wasted all my time doing all this when I could have just stayed home and ate bonbons. It's that kind of energy. Bottom line is just enjoy yourself. Don't pressure yourself. Don't push yourself. Go with the flow this month. Less is more. Take your time. Get organized. Redo. Recreate. Regenerate. By the end of the month, you'll know exactly what to do. And then next month, you can really just go for it. And it will be terrific. Okay. Anything about money for Aries? I feel like you've got money. I feel like money's coming in. I feel like it's steady. I feel like you know your business, you know your core, it's happening. If Aries is not having money, if you're an Aries and you don't have money coming in your life, it has to do with your value of yourself, because that's something between the head. Because you guys absolutely should be having money. And if you don't have money, then you want to get a book that, get any book that has to do with prosperity. The one that's popping into my head is Asking It Is Given, right? So there's a lot, just being able to change your thoughts into your reality. There's a lot of different books out there. This is a book that I happen to be reading right now that's really good for that. It's called, I don't even know if I can say it, but that's what it's called. And it's a really good book to help you change your mind about prosperity and about abundance. And so if you're not making money, you're not working, Aries, it has to do between your head. Now, some of you may be going, That's not true. I got fired and I want to work. Or I'm sick and you know what? I can't work, right? At the end of the day, consciousness is everything. So if you read a book or get, something like Ask and It Is Given, it will teach you how to arrange your thoughts so that no matter what your situation is, you can have money flowing to you. So even if you're sick and at home, there's something that can happen that money, or if you're out of a job, there's something that you can do by changing your mind, right? And if you don't believe me, that's okay. But what do you have to lose, right? Buy a book, read it, and try it. See what happens. Okay, so let's move on to health for Aries and any surprises for you guys. Some of you may have recently, hearts are coming up as sensitive, and some of you may have, can be anything from, having to have a cold and upper respiratory and feeling tightness in the chest, to having too much caffeine and having heart palpitations from too much caffeine, right? I have a little bit of a headache. It can be allergies, and then the medicine that you're taking for the allergies can be creating a histamine effect, and right? So allergic reaction to medicines. I'm feeling, so if you're having some sort of heart palpitations, just look at the different things that are going on for you. I don't feel like it's doesn't feel life or death to me. It doesn't feel like that. It feels like it's something that's manageable, right? And something that you can change for yourself. So just look at that. And let me see if there's any surprises for Aries this month. You guys have got some really great co-creative ideas for other people, and really heart energy, wanting to help other people and wanting to support other people. And I just really feel like there's some great ideas that can come for you to solve other people's problems. So just be aware that this month that some really good ideas may be coming through. Maybe not even for the other people, but for yourself as well. So just know there's some good, creative, helpful energy. And I would keep a pen and paper with me, or your phone, your notes section, right there, so you can jot down the ideas as they come in. And just remember, you don't have to act on every idea that comes, and maybe sometimes those ideas that come in aren't for you, but they may be for somebody else. So just know that you're going to have these like surprise, I just get like downloads or insights, and they'll just come like in the flash in your mind, or just a knowing or sudden impulse, and you should follow them. All right, Aries, have an amazing month. If you like my intuitive astrology, please click like. If you want, share it with a friend, comment below, and I look forward to seeing you again next month. Thanks for joining me.